Welcome to a new week. And we had a presentation, so we're starting a little late about GED stuff. And I want to show you where that is in our welcome and syllabus. So if you wanted to see the slides that Rebecca showed for 6 to 6:20, then we can do that. So if we go to our welcome and syllabus, there's a sidebar item GED info. So if you click on that, then the slides that Rebecca was showing us are right here, slides with links. And all of these things, you could click on them if you wanted to learn more about any of these programs or things like that. I mentioned that one of the trickier things that she talked about was linking your GED website account with the college. So there's a video here. And there's a video here that will help you with that. So if it's not obvious what to do, then all of this stuff in this first paragraph is great. Here's the linking one. This page has lots of good stuff about the GED, what you need for different placements, things like that. Okay, any other questions about that GED topic before we start the math? No, people showing. Okay, yeah, so GED and other announcements are that all of the sections are now ready. So I worked like crazy over the weekend, it's rainy, so you can go into all of these things and see. The only thing I haven't done is write my own answers to the David Lippman handouts, right? For most of our topics, there's the worksheets here. So instead, what I did is going back to welcome and syllabus. If you look at resources in the sidebar, then now there's a link to see all of his answer keys. So no, don't copy the file, then open it.
You have to download it.
There you go. I have to okay, well, when I look at it, I guess because it's me, I can, but click download and you can get them all there. It's
Are we supposed to download it or?
only if you care about the worksheets.
Okay.
So if you, the worksheets were put into the program before anyone decided to use the nice textbook. So since we have the nice textbook, the worksheets are much less important. You can see all the videos. You can see more example problems like the one you just read about. So that's a better way to do things. So the example, the worksheets were meant to go with the free textbook that's not as nice. So if you haven't been using the worksheets, that's fine, because we have the better textbook. Okay, so we're starting a new thing today. Because attendance is small, I'm gonna save the writing math on paper. That's one where I will want you to practice as we go, writing some math down. And if you're in Zoom, take your phone, take a picture of your work and share it. And if there's only a few people in class, then everyone has to take turns too often, and it gets a little imposing. So I want a normal class size when we have twice as many people. And then everyone will only have to share half as much.
Yeah, any scrap paper.
Yeah, I will bring paper for when we do that.
Speaking of the trash, but I mean, if anyone wants the paper, I can toss that on.
So for now, we're going to talk about place value and bring everyone to me. We did a lot of stuff with place value on whole numbers early on in the term. So now we're going to repeat all of those things but have decimals. First, though, as a warm-up, use the shape tool and build a shape where half is red, a quarter is blue, and some is green, but not more than 1/6. And if you like that warm-up, then there's another one, but we can just do one of them if that's good enough for everybody. So use the shape tool on the side and build a shape together. It could be a circle, it could be a rectangle, whatever you want to do. And if you want to be a Lone Ranger and build your own shape, you can do that, just do it above or below. Together. You're too busy eating?
Well, why want you?
No, I'm not gonna build the shape, I want. So you have the shape tool.
So John and I
You
have to
can make
build the
things.
shapes.
Well, we have Betty and Emily with us too.
Hourglass.
I will get rid of my spring, whoops. It looks like you wrote on my thing, so yeah, use the shape tool so it sticks around better.
Where's the shape tool now?
It's this one here, the fourth thing down on mine.
And you just use like a line to make it?
And use a line,
Yeah, like the line, so.
but it's easier if you use the tool, because if I make a shape, let me make a little one just to show you. Then when I click on it, I can change the colors. I can say, let's make the border light green and the inside
It's like.
that color, or things like that. So to make it red or blue, if you build something out of shapes, you can change the color. You see.
Okay, I think I see what you're at now.
What I'm trying to do is. Oh, here it is. Oh,
Is Sean doing something over there? Betty's doing something.
Trying to do something, Fred.
I'm trying to do something too, and build into shape, and I'm not having any luck.
You can shade it with the pen tool, Betty, but it's easier if you just use the shape tool to make a half of it. The circles, it's a little harder,
This one, yeah.
right? If you just put two rectangles next to each other.
I get it now, Chloe just taught me, I get it now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I hate
I'm
it.
here.
I'm trying to do this, it's kind of hard to do. Thanks, Gavin, make it shorter.
I didn't make it shorter, I didn't move it.
Oh, I'm trying to move it, cool.
No, that's your try. Look at the screen, the big screen, us moving this thing right here.
Jody, did you just steal Betty's circle?
I did. Sorry, Betty.
That's fine, no problem. I can have one more, so
Sure.
you're fine.
Trying to. And then blue, right? And go, darn it, 1/4 blue, right?
Border blue, yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be really fun to do.
Shading is hard. If you just made another rectangle red, then that would be a lot simpler, Sean. Right, you can just do that to make half of it red.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay,
That's weird.
some is green, but not more than a sixth, so give me a tiny amount of green and then you'll be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that looks good. Emily is moving the title screen, that's. Okay, well, Betty colors, I
Yeah.
think bottom one.
I can.
So, let me see, make this, a black. Okay, so we want more than half of something red. And red is twice as much as blue, so I'm going to make a copy of my red rectangle. And I'm gonna make another copy of it, and I'm gonna change this one to blue. Okay, so now I have twice as much red as blue. So I've done this part, half is red, more than half is red. And red is twice as much. I need a little bit of yellow. So more than a tenth yellow. Now, how would I check if that's more than a tenth? If I made 10 of those, is
Wow.
that gonna cover it? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if I made 10 of those, it would more than cover it. So those are bigger than a 10.
Is
And-
this circle okay? I put
Yeah.
half yellow and one for red.
For both of them, you want more than half red, and yours only has about a quarter red.
Oh, red and blue, right.
Yeah. And then for this bottom puzzle, I need a tiny bit of. Here. Okay, so here's my answer for the bottom one. You could make your own. Okay, is it okay if we move on, Betty?
Yes.
Okay. A good warm up, our brains are now warmed up, we can talk about decimals. So we use decimals all the time, especially with money. So your first task is to look at all these numbers on the side. Only a few of them are money numbers. So take the money numbers and put them with the right coin. This is a Sacagawea dollar, by the way. So this is a whole dollar and then a quarter dime next to it. So which numbers go with which coins? So that's the 1.
Oh, Jesus. Let me. Ah,
Here, I can erase Betty, you just get the
okay, thank you.
move it too long.
Yeah, I can. Still my pen.
Let me move everyone to where I am. That help.
I want to.
You were grabbing the 0.1.
Yes, I want to do the 0.1, but my mouse is not letting me.
Not letting you do it, tell me where to
No.
put. I can
On
be
the penny.
on the penny.
Yeah.
So 0.1 is 1 in the tenths column. A penny is only 100th. So a penny would have a 1 in the hundredths column, so that would be different.
Okay.
Where would 0.1 go? What's a tenth of a dollar?
And the third
Yeah, a dime.
10. Yeah, dime.
Which would the penny be?
That will be this one.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
it's 0.01. Let me make it bigger. So we have nothing in the tenths, no dimes, and 100 pennies make a dollar, so that's that one. How about the nickel? What's 5 times as big as a penny? So not 0.01.
It's gonna be the one.
Yes, the 0.05.
Mhm.
And then a quarter? 25.
This one, 25.
Okay, the second half of this. A high performance gaming mouse can measure movement as small as 6 10,000ths. So if I'm counting, that would be tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So this many place values. So which decimal of these brown ones up here has the 4 place values to be 10,000?
This one.
5.
Yeah, this one, yeah. If
The
I
one.
get bigger, you'll see it fits. Oops, there. And There we go, 10,000. Everyone see how it matches?
Yes.
Okay. So this slide is to show you that you already know about decimals somewhat. You've played with money. And you've probably seen the place value chart that has tenths, hundreds, thousands, and so on. Notice the THS at the end, which is different than tens and hundreds. We have tenths and hundreds. So it's often hard to hear with the remote Zoom microphone, tens versus tenths. Okay, when we did the base 10 blocks in the beginning of the term, we said that these little circles and the little blocks count as one. So that would be 1. That would be 2. If I circled that, that would be 12, 10, 11, 12. But now we're doing decimals. So we're going to say that one of these counts as 1. So that's a whole. The line is now a tenth. Because if you put 10 lines next to each other, you would get a whole square. And then how much is the little block by itself going to be? 100. So this is the same as if we had, and move over here. A whole is like the square.
$1.
The dime is like the line, the tenth, and then the penny is like the little blocks, the 100, 1 cent. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna move these out of the way in case they're confusing people. So for each of the 4 pictures, find which of these numbers over here goes with it. So the first one, we have 4 wholes, 2 tenths, and 4 hundredths. So which number is 4 wholes? 424 is way too big. That would be 404
Big.
squares.
Okay.
424 would be the answer if a little block counted as 1. But now we're saying it's these squares that count as 1, so we only have 4 of them. Does that make sense? Then we have 2 tenths. And we have 4 hundredths.
The little squares is a penny.
If you put a dollar sign in front, which I have trouble writing, then $4.24. 4 dollar coins, 2 dimes, and 4 pennies. Okay, let's do this one. What number on the right has 2 holes and all the rest of the change?
On the what?
What number here on the right hand side?
Has
There's 2 holes and then a bunch of other little stuff.
2 holes and then on the side.
This one?
Yeah, so 2 holes, there's the 2 holes. Does it have 6 tenths? Yes. And 8 hundredths? It does. So again, if I was to make money out of this, then it would be $2. That's a very good way to have a dollar bill. 6 dimes. And 8 pennies. Okay, how about this one?
There's one.
This one in the bottom left.
This one?
Okay, I bet you got it before I got it. You
Yeah,
get
there you got it. Do you need me to drag it or can you drag it?
Chandra.
Everyone happy with that answer? Do you-
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Okay, and the last one, it also has 3 holes.
Yay.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Okay, let's keep going. So decimals have 3 different names. If you were working with me in office hours or a study group, then I would just say point for the decimal point. So I could say 0.12. Everyone okay with that?
Yes,
If I'm doing a teaching of a class, then I would say the 0 in the ones column. I say 0.12. That's not more correct, that's just polite. I'm giving your ears a chance to say, oh, heads up decimals, when I say 0 point. And then if I was doing a stenography, typing out in English words what this decimal is, then I would have to go back to that chart. And use that place value chart to say its formal name. And what you do is you write the decimal. Let me get a new square to block that one. Okay. So I would write 0.12. And you pick the smallest place value, in this case, the hundredths. And that's the one you say. So I would say this is 12, because it looks like a 12, but it's not 12 ones, it's 12 hundredths.
Let's see. Because if there's a 0 behind that too, that would be the,
If we put a 0 here, now I could say it's 120 thousandths. It's the same thing, but a little more confusing.
yeah, this is more confusing. So can you explain to us the jargon behind that, cause I think that's kind of stumped along.
Can I explain the jargon behind it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not. So imagine that I could pick up this 12. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can do that. And slide it, oh, let me get the rest of that one. Did I get it? No,
we can just put it on top of that line after.
I'm gonna do this and then unselect that and that. Did that manage to do it? Okay. Group. Okay, now I have the book. If I put the 12 here, that's just 12 ones, because the smallest place value of the 12, where the 2 is. Come on. And I think that is disconnected. There we go, okay, so where the 2 is in the 1, so that's just how we say 12 normally. If I was to count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like that. Then I could count by 10, 12 times and have 12 tens. But if I did that, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, what I would actually get is 120. I have 12 tens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense in the ones.
So I'm gonna do the same thing, but now I'm gonna count pennies. And since I'm on that side of the decimal point, then I have to write a decimal point in right there also. So now I have 12 pennies, right? That's how we write 12 cents. So it's 12 hundredths. Penny is 100th of it all. Does that help explain things?
I'm thinking of like. I'm not thinking of it in a currency. Like traditional math style instead of like. One. This is hard point. Difference the two because they're kind of just saying all that at the same time.
Yeah, well, think about the money if it helps. You can't always, we're about to do one that has more place values than pennies and dimes. But if you can think about the place value, you might as well, right, the money, because it can help you.
Well, I mean, why is there thousands by the ones and the
Why is there a thousands?
Yeah,
Well, let's use that right now. So how about this number for the second problem? So if I want to write it, I could, if you were sitting next to me and we're just doing math together, say 0.415. There's nothing wrong with writing it that way or saying it that way. If I was giving a lecture and talking, and then I want to give your ears a little more heads up, I would say 0.415. And if I wanted it to be very formal, then again, I would take this. Let's make another copy of it. And instead of 12, I would write 415. But 415 what's? It's not 415 holes. Now it's, I take my 415. Oops, can I move that? So the smallest place value, I'm going to count tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So thousandths is the label I use. So I would rate this as 400. $15,000.
why are we reading it like this though? Like
Because sometimes-
in this direction,
And then going in the direction we are isn't terribly practical.
yeah, it's,
You're probably not going to have to write it in words. But going the other direction might be useful. The GED test might say that the weight of some medicine that the pharmacist measured out is 415 thousandths.
I don't know how to read it properly in this format.
In this format,
Yeah,
so if you give me a new number. Let me just take
1012.
1012. How about 100,000s?
Yeah,
Let me make this smaller because it's huge. Okay, so if the GE test gave me this number, then I'm gonna make it bigger, I've got Sean's thing on it. How would I write it? I'd start by taking the part that sounds like a whole number and write that. So I would say 1012. Everyone okay with that? And then I would say if it is 100,000ths, then I'm gonna move the decimal place. Let me make that not so thick. I'm gonna move the decimal place that many times. So ready? Tens, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. So I actually need another 0 in front to have enough spaces.
so where's the dollar point?
Where's the dollar point?
Yeah.
If there wasn't, I could put $1 there. That would be 1 cent and lots of tiny fractions of a cent, so
Okay, so
money doesn't help much for that.
yeah. So we're slicing up the
You're
pennies.
slicing up the, yeah, here's dimes, here's pennies, everything else is slices of pennies. Unless you're a gas station, I'm not sure why gas stations are allowed to have 3 decimal point digits for their prices and no one else is, but anyway.
Maybe that's just for sales.
Okay, I'm gonna bring everyone to me. Okay, back to the more useful stuff. So we did a to-doodle about adding fractions, and I mentioned at the end of it, decimals are just easier. So each of these grids is 100. So they're a whole, just like with the wooden blocks where the holes were the squares. So I'll do one and then you do others. If I have 1/10. So I'm gonna shade 1/10, I'll pick my highlighter tool. So there is 1/10, everyone okay with that? The up and down lines were 1/10 a couple of slides ago. And I want to add 4/10. Let me pick a different color that's. So I'm gonna do 4 more tenths, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone with me for that?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take away 2/10, 1, 2. So how many tenths did I wind up shading?
3/10.
3/10. So if I write 3, that's 3 holes. But if I do that, that makes it 3/10. What I don't want, but could do is 3/100, right? 3 pennies, but I want 3 dimes. So 3/10, there we go. Okay, somebody else, if you can, use the highlighter tool and shade 1/10 plus 6/10 minus 2/10. Now they're written as decimals instead of words. That's 100. We're gonna be here a long time if you shade these things 100 at a time. Remember that the blocks are holes, the up and down lines are tenths, and the little guys are hundreds, but we're not using them, at least not yet.
I think she's trying to talk to you.
Is she's on mute, I can't hear her, she's talking.
Okay, sorry. I
No
forget to remove. Okay, so 1/10, right? So
One.
this,
Yep, the whole thing, do you want me to
Yeah.
shade for you?
yeah,
You got it.
yes, please, yeah,
You did it fine. So
okay,
there's- now.
and then plus 6,
6 more tenths.
more
Whoops.
10.
So 1,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay,
Minus 2.
take away 2 of them. There goes 1/10. There goes so how many tenths we have still faded?
5/10.
5/10. Maybe you know that 0.5 is a half. Does this look like half of it is shaded?
Yes. 1.5, 0.5 equals 1/2.
Okay, let's do the last one. So 5/100. Now we're gonna do these little hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're gonna do 6 more hundreds. Does someone else want to shade it or should I? Okay. Shade 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we have 0.15. Somebody tell me how to shade 0.15.
One whole line
One whole line.
plus 5
Okay, that's the 0.1.
plus 5 single square.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
So that's a mess, but we could write it. So how many lines did we shade? We shaded this line
10,
and,
10.
right? So our tenths column has 2
20.
lines shaded. And then other than that, how many singles did we shade? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 0.26. Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want a slightly more challenging problem, we can do this one, but since we all started class saying our brains are tired, I'm gonna say this Thursday. It's a good review for the people who want to. Oh, you're taking off?
Yeah.
Have a good rest. It is 7:10. Do you want to take a little stretch break? Sure. Sure, okay, what I'm actually gonna do is. All right, I will just pause that.
Okay, great. Let me do, let's go back on. Right, ready?
Oh, you could put the 8 there, that's fine.
That's the thing, yeah.
85, now why did you pick 8 and 5 in those two places to start with?
The biggest number in front.
Yeah, you want to start with as much as possible before subtracting. Okay, now you have a 2 and a 4 to use.
But this is part of my back to this. I don't think you need patience.
What? I'm doing this.
No, I'm trying to tie my shoe, because it came untied, and this is sort of my back to do this.
Okay.
Okay, so you had as much as possible, but you took away an awful lot.
Okay, so you want me to swap them? It's
There, now you've taken away less. Does that make sense?
yeah,
So if you want to do more of this, what happens if you use other digits, not just 2, 5, 8, and 4?
Oh,
How could you make the biggest thing? But that's a figure it out all fun.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna now look at sorting decimals. We did an introduction to what they are. Thank you so much. And now we're going to say, look, sorting decimals is pretty easy also. This will look just like when we sorted whole numbers at the very beginning of class. If I look at fractions, which of these is bigger? If you're not familiar with fractions, that might not be obvious. But if I take decimals and say which is bigger, 0.6 or 0.423,
6.
the 6, why are you voting for the 6?
It's larger and larger in size.
How do you know just by looking at it?
Because the 6 is more towards the decimal.
I would say it this way, remember that this is dimes
Yeah.
and this is pennies. This is like bits of pennies, so small they're barely worth thinking about. So I'm not allowed to have more than 9 pennies. If I did, that would be another dime. That's how place value works, right?
Yeah.
So if I have 6 dimes, that's going to be bigger than 4 dimes and some pennies.
Yeah,
Because I know I can't even have 10 pennies.
yeah.
So I can't even make the 4 into 50 cents. So as long as the dimes are bigger, then less than 10 pennies isn't going to catch up.
Okay.
Does that make sense to Betty and Emily? Thumbs up, okay.
Yes.
So decimals are nice. Okay, so show me you understand. Click on this green rectangle labeled 1 and delete it. Or move it out of the way, whatever. Now, which of these numbers can you see right away? Oh, don't delete more. Wait. Undo. Yes. Use the undo button.
But what the question was?
Let's use the undo button and put the rectangle back. I think Emily has to do it because she deleted it. There we go. Okay, so of these numbers, we don't know what they are, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff that's covered up and we don't know what these numbers are. But just by seeing the ones and fives, which number do we know has to be the biggest? The 5, yeah, so go ahead and drag that where it says biggest. And we didn't need to know what it was. Is it 500? Is it 50? Is it 5? It was the biggest because the 5 was sticking out. Everyone okay with that? Okay, now
Yeah.
delete 2. The second green rectangle. Somebody delete it. Pick the green rectangle too, but now's the time to get it. Now, if you're gonna move it way out of the way, so we're not. Okay, now we have a bunch of numbers. We can see all the whole number parts. Again, we don't know what's covered up in the decimal area, but we can still sort them somewhat. Which number do we know is going to be the second biggest of all of them?
The 15th.
15, so we can put that under the 51. And we don't care if it's 15.5 or 15.8 or whatever, it's going to be the next biggest. Okay, can we judge between the 12s yet?
No.
No, $12 and something, I don't know, I need to know what change I have. Okay, go ahead and delete the rectangle number 3. Okay, now we have 12 and 0 dimes. We don't know if it's $12 even, $12.07, something like that, right? We don't know how many pennies are there. And we have $12.50 something. Is it 53 cents? Is it 58 cents? We don't know. But now we know which of those is bigger.
Right. The 12.50.
Yeah. And then the $12 and just a few pennies has to be the next biggest thing. I'll take a turn if you want.
Yes.
Okay, then we have $2 and something and $1 and something. So $2 is gonna be next. And $1 is gonna be after that.
Yeah.
Okay, if we get rid of 4, is there anything left? Nope, no tiny numbers, we got all of that, okay. Notice when we sort them, that the decimal points all have to line up. Otherwise, if you have them not lined up, then, oops, let's pick, which is bigger? $2.15 or $15? Do you see how the $2 looks bigger? Because I'm not lining up the decimal points the right way. When I line them up, then you could say, yeah, $15 is more than $2. Okay, on to the next page. Now, somebody lined the numbers up badly. The decimal point didn't line up. So let's try the same thing we just did, but it's not gonna work. So somebody go ahead and
Here,
move.
and with the new Toyota, you can start your summer.
Okay, it looks like there's a 2. This must be bigger than the others. So let's grab that and put it as biggest. Okay, keep going. Any rabbitry? Oh, okay. Oh, we have some 12s. So 12 looks bigger, but oh, the 12 is bigger than the 2 we had to start with. That's not right. And there's a 12 here. And yeah, that's even the biggest still. Okay, now we can move to the next green rectangle. Here's a 5, but this isn't like 0.5 or $5, it's $51. So now we're getting the biggest thing, even though we're down into this. And 15.5, oh, I have to like squeeze that in, whoops. Squeeze that in here. $1.52, okay, now there's sort of. So that's a reminder to always line up the decimal points, or it's not going to work. Now it's your turn to make a problem like that. We're gonna cover this and slide it over one little bit at a time. But first we need to put decimal points in it. So click on a number, put in a decimal point. I've done the first one, you can do all the others. So double click on them and put in decimal points. And they'll line up more nicely if you put a space before and after the decimal point. So if Sean is working on that one, then somebody else do the third one and like that. Don't all do the same ones. Put the decimal points wherever you want. Oh, don't hide them yet. First, we're just putting the decimal points in all of them.
How do you say that we can put the,
So if you double click on it,
uh-huh,
then you can edit it.
Yeah.
well, mine is not working.
Then tell me, where do you want the decimal point? And I'll put it there
Between the 5 and 0.
between 5 and 0. Oops.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
I'll do this one. Okay, we have 2 more. Somebody do that one and somebody do that one, or tell me what to do. Now about towards the end. Okay, so now we need to line these all up so that the decimal points are one above the other. Okay, let me see if I got it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now let's see if the sorting works. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll slide this over. We have a 9 and a 1 that we can see. So since we lined it up, it should work. We should be able to say the 9 is definitely the biggest number, whatever else is there. And the one that's starting with a 1 is going to be next biggest. So go ahead and grab those.
Here, for that.
And you just grab the number that's peeking out.
Oh, there.
Nothing. Yeah,
She can't do that.
it's too hard to click on just the number. Oops. Yeah, I'm changing its shape, that's not what I want. Okay, there we go, there's the two biggest, now we'll slide things a little more. There's a number with a 9. And then a number with a 4, so this is gonna be next. And then that one, it doesn't matter what they have in the hundreds, the thousands is enough to make. Oh, there's a 1, so there's something that only has hundreds. Nothing bigger. Keep sliding, there's a 4 and a 2. So 48 and 26, any more? 2 point something, there we go. Okay, everyone okay with decimal sorting?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so decimals are often easier than fractions. Why would we want fractions at all? When in real life are fractions better than decimals?
Fractions are like a form of decimals. Like a form, so it's just easier to see. Easier, it's easier to do. Yeah, this was like, it's a form of fractions, basically.
There are different ways of writing numbers less than 1, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we use fractions. When do we use fractions in telling?
You know, like, weighing stuff.
Yeah.
Or measurements.
If you're not having to do arithmetic, then the fractions are sort of cozy. If you want a half cup of flour, or if you want to buy a third a pound of something at the bulk section of the store. And if you're not having to do arithmetic with it, then fractions just sort of seem more intuitive.
Yeah.
But as soon as you have to do arithmetic, then you'd rather be using decimals. Okay, now we get to play games.
Yay, games
So
is my
here's a
friend.
warm up that we're not gonna do because games are more fun. But which of these can you make a rectangular box with? Clearly you can with the one that's a line up and down, it's already a box, right? Or you
Okay,
can
how do
make
you
more
feel
than
better?
one. And say, look, there's a bigger box. But which other ones could you make a box out of? If I snug them together the right way. And I'm allowed to rotate it. Okay, we're gonna go back to the games though, because that's fun. So we played 101 and out, and we played reject. And we're gonna play those again, but now with decimals. So for the 101. Oops, that's scoots. That was there, okay, let's do them up here. So in this game, we need a 6-sided die, or we can open the dice simulator. And we're going to have 6 rounds. Someone's gonna roll the die. And we get to pick. Are we doing tens, ones, tenths, or hundredths? So let's have Jody and Sean be one team. Are you here, Emily? Can you play?
Does it sound like she's here? She's been quiet the whole time.
Do you want to be on a different team? Do you want separate teams, or do you want to be together?
I don't care.
Could just be you versus Betty, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so our first die roll, whoops, is going to be a 6. So do you want 6 tens, so 60? Do you want 6 ones, so 6? 6 tenths, 0.6, or 6 hundredths, 0.06, and you want to get close to 100 without going over.
We're on a team, honey, so choose which one you want.
6 tens.
6 10, so you're gonna get 60. What are you going to do, Betty?
I wanna do 66.
Which one, tens, ones, tenths, or hundredths of your six? Do you want six?
10.
6 10, so you also have 60, counting by 10 6 times.
Okay,
Okay, now we'll roll again. A 5. So you can't have 5 10s, because you'll get to 110. So where do you want to put your 5?
With the ones, like my.
Ones, so now you're gonna put a 5 in the ones. How about Betty, what are you going to do?
I want the 5 on the hundreds.
On the hundreds. So you're making just a tiny bit, $60 and change. You're hoping you can find something bigger than 5 to go in.
Bigger, okay, got it. Then, I wanna do, 10.
Tenths,
Yes,
that.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll roll again. Another 6, we're getting such big numbers. Now Jody and Sean can't put it in the tens or the ones, because they will, actually, they could put it in the ones, that would be 71. Or you could put it as change to say. That's
Ones.
Yeah, ones.
ones, so you put it in the ones and you get 71. You can't put it in the tens, Betty, because that would be 120, which is too big, but you could put it anywhere else.
can I put her on 60 and in the ones?
The ones, sure, now you're up to
Yeah.
6 and 50 cents. Okay, now. We get a 3.
Ones.
Ones.
Ones, you're not doing any decimals at all. Okay, how about Betty?
I wanted, the, 10s.
Tens, right? If you add 30, now you're very close to 100. You're doing great.
Yes.
Okay, 2 more rolls. A 2,
Tens.
10s, 94 even. Where do you want to put it, Betty?
I want to do it on the hundreds.
The hundreds. So just kind of put it out of the way there.
Yeah,
You're hoping to get like a 3 or a
or 2. Yeah,
2. Okay,
yeah.
last roll. A 4.
Oh, okay.
Ones.
One.
Ones, so you get up to 98. Can Betty put it here?
Yes, please.
Oh, 'cause then you get 100.52. You'd just be a little bit too big.
Oh, can
So
I,
the highest you can do is put it here.
in the, yeah, in the ones?
Right, so they got lucky and snuck ahead right at the end.
Okay.
It's a fun game. It's a math game.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this.
Do you wanna try again?
Yeah, sure, that's good.
Okay, I'm gonna just draw a line. And we'll do it again. Oops. Okay. Oh, well, so much for my shortcut that would be faster than rewriting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna change Mike and Sean's and Betty say.
Okay, we're starting with a 4 on the new game. Do you want to go 40 or is that not ambitious enough?
Go 40.
40.
Does Betty also want 40?
And no, let's do it on the 10th.
The tenths?
Yes,
Tenths, so just.
Yeah.
Tenths. Yeah.
yes,
You want some 5s and 6s, get some bigger numbers up.
yeah.
Oh, there's the 5.
There's your 5. Ones.
Once.
1s, you don't want to go to 90 right away?
No.
Okay, where do you want it, Betty?
Can
50?
can I do it the ones?
You could do 1s, you could have 5 point.
Okay.
A 6.
10.
Tens.
10, if you do 10s, it's 105.
Tens.
Tenths, 45.6 tenths, okay.
Can I have it in the ones?
You can, but you could also put it in tenths, in a
Yeah.
tenth.
Yeah, the 10th. Let's do the 10th.
You have to get some 10s eventually.
Yes,
to
yeah.
get 100.
Mhm.
A 3,
10s.
10, so that would
And-
go up to 75, adding 30.
Yeah, for me too, 10th.
Okay, she's getting close, but in this version, you don't have to worry about going over as much, because you can always.
Right,
Tens or tenths or hundredths.
yes.
A 4,
Ones.
Once.
79.6. If they get a 2, they're gonna be doing great next time. Okay, where?
For me, I wanna do on in the 10th.
In the tenths, you might as well
Yeah.
do ones.
Oh, the ones.
You can add 4 to that 5.
Yeah, ones.
99.04, you're very close to 100.
Very close. Okay.
But if they can make it 99.6, that would be even bigger.
Yes.
Okay, it's all down to the die. Oh, what?
Aha!
The best they can do is 89.
And I can do 99.14.
And you can do 99.14.
Betty wins.
Yay.
Yay, Betty won.
Right?
Okay, remember this game?
Yeah, I would.
Now you want the biggest number, you don't have to worry about going over. But you only get to pick each place value spot once. And this used to be, when we played it before, a comma. And you would make a big whole number, right?
Mhm.
Now we have decimal numbers, and we'll see if this changes anything. So our first number is a 1, so I'm just gonna copy this. And you can drag, if it works for you, you can drag your own numbers to where they go. Where do you want to put your 1? Remember, the reject box is the box that doesn't count for anything.
Where did you go, you goofy one? I just had it.
Oh, I bet I know what happened. One moment. I bet these are higher on the. There we go.
Oh, okay, there it is.
They were covering it up. Okay. You really want to put the smallest digit in your biggest spot. You're not going to be able to get 60 if you put the 1 there.
Nah, I changed my mind. Where's the reject? Oh, there it is.
Okay, Betty, where are you going to put your 1?
My 1, I want to put it on the on the
Here.
yes.
Okay, we'll roll again. a 5. So grab a 5 and put it where you want.
Hey, I got you, big bro.
5.
Sean is betting there won't be any 6s.
I was
And
going to
50
get
something will be the biggest.
I got it, just a minute.
Okay, roll again. Oh, there was-
Yay!
so Betty's gonna win because they're stuck with 56 and change, and Betty has 65. But we can finish it up. So a 4.
4.
Oops.
Another 4, so copy and paste this 4.
Go ahead.
Oh, can not. Thank you.
And then lastly, another 5.
From right next to my 4. Betty wins.
Yay!
Hey, so
Betty class.
which game changed more when we put decimals in?
It changed a lot.
Yeah, it changed it a lot, it makes it better for me.
It's fun.
Decimals keep changing, it's just like, it changed the whole game.
It does, it makes it fun.
Let me show you one other thing. So this is a shape
Mm-hmm.
called Diffie. And can I just Google it? I don't remember. This is from so long ago. Diffie shape map. Does that lead any? Where? Images. Yes, so you can find this yourself if you want to learn more about it or try it at home. So Diffie is this weird shape, and watch what happens. I'm gonna start in the corners with a certain 4 numbers, and it tells me in the instructions that the first time I do this, just to be amazed, I use 5, 3, 11, and 12. And it's called a Diffie the subtractor, Diffie for difference, because I'm gonna find the difference between these things. So I'm gonna go along the lines. What's the difference between 5 and 11?
The 11's bigger.
6.
I
6. It's 6 bigger. 5 and 3, 5 is 2 bigger. 12 minus 3 is what? 9. 12 minus 11 is 1. Everyone with me so far?
Yes.
Yes.
These lines, 6 and 2. The difference between 6 and 2 is 4. The difference between 6 and 1 is 5. The difference between 2 and 9 is 7. The difference between 1 and 9 is 8. Everyone with me so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I'm going on the purples, so 4 and 5, the difference is 1. 4 and 7, the difference is 3. 7 and 8, the difference is 1. 5 and 8, the difference is 3. And then lastly, the greens. 3 and 1 is 2. 1 and 3 is 2. 3 and 1 is 2. 3 and 1 is, they're all 2s.
No, this.
So what you want to try and do is find 4 numbers that don't make the center spots all zeros. And as an extra challenge, can you make them not only not 0, but not all the same as each other? Okay, these were all 2s. So you're gonna pick 4 numbers to start with in the corners and repeat that process and see if you can make it come out the way you want. At least not all zeros, and if possible, different numbers, not all 4 the same. So you don't have to do this, but it's a fun little thing to do, especially if you have kids or parents at home you want to torture with a map.
How do you get out of this? Well, I did.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording. Actually, let me talk about homework really quick. So again, we are now doing decimals and percents. So anything from B1 to B6, the first 4 Math B topics we've done, you could do those homework. If you wanted to start decimals and percentages, looking in the book, you could, but I wouldn't try the My Open Math yet, we're not there yet.
Okay.